So Sung-jin, I kind of hinted it in the opening.
I saw.
Yes, I said we're going to talk about K-art.
K-art.
Kind of.
Kind
so
of.
what do you have for us today?
Well, one element that we cannot exclude when we're talking about Korean culture is the Korean alphabet, which is also known as Hangeul. More specifically today, I want to talk about how Hangeul can be expressed as a form of art through calligraphy. A delicate brushstroke lands on the paper. These single strokes come together to create characters from the Korean alphabet Hangeul. This is known as Hangeul seoye, or Hangeul calligraphy. 94-year-old Jung Joo-hwan has dedicated more than 60 years of his life to practicing calligraphy and is one of the first to practice the art form.
Hangeul was easy to learn and memorize. It's also very scientifically made. Look at the beauty of these characters.
Calligraphy in Korea has used both Hanja, which are Chinese characters, and the Korean alphabet Hangeul. But last month, Hangeul seoye was designated as a national intangible cultural heritage, recognizing its unique writing style using Korea's own alphabet, as well as its unique font and brushwork. Chung runs his own academy where he passes on his knowledge of calligraphy.
I like letters, but I also started learning calligraphy to control my mind more peacefully and cultivate a sense of virtue, which I think has been helping.
An old saying says that seoye helps grow patience and train one's mind. Not only does this show the beauty of the written characters, but it also helps develop one's own character. And calligrapher Lee Jung-hwa feels Hangeul is a better medium to convey meaningful messages.
The reason why I like Hangeul seoye is because I can convey emotions through characters that really represent our sound, since it is the Korean alphabet. That's why moving forward, I want to try everything I can using Hangeul seoye and find what I really can accomplish.
The Korea Heritage Service said it will provide support for scholarly studies and initiatives aimed at promoting the transmission of cultural heritage. Seoye is an age-old tradition, and with efforts like these to promote it further, this calligraphy could play a key role in sharing not only the Korean writing system, but also its culture.
I feel so relaxed after watching that report.
Very calming, very reserved.
Indeed. Walter, have you ever tried calligraphy before by any chance?
So one thing you should know about me is I have the handwriting of a kindergartner, so I could not do any of that.
I think I would give the same answer because my handwriting is awful.
Yes, it's
but
terrible.
I think Sung-jin's handwriting was pretty nice, as we saw in the report. But I actually didn't catch what you wrote down there.
Right. Before we got into the message of what I was trying to write, I realized that handwriting is actually different from calligraphy. Calligraphy is a lot more difficult, on a side note.
Oh, I thought that we still have some hope, but I guess
no, guys. Calligraphy is
Zero.
difficult. But the message that I was trying to convey on my article was talking about how we should keep the mindset of the ancestors and kind of keep that path going on to the future generation as well.
Beautiful.
Very meaningful.
But Sung-jin, could you explain a little bit more on Hangeul or Hangeul seoye itself?
So I briefly mentioned it in my article as an act of writing Hangeul, or the Korean alphabet, but it's actually a bit more than that. It actually encompasses the traditional knowledge and the stories behind the use of the Korean ink and the brush. As such, any recording of the lives on Korean, whether it be on metal, stone, textiles, all imply Hangeul seoye. More noteworthy is actually the fact that there are various fonts and writing styles that this comes in.
So, and it sounds very simple, but like, how does one actually write it?
Right, so I saw the process myself. You would take an Asian brush, which is often made out of animal hair. You would wet it in the Korean ink and then draw each stroke by stroke, most likely on Korean traditional paper, which is also known as hanji. I said these come in different writing styles, but to be a bit more specific on each of these fonts, a personalized handwriting example comes as well, which includes the type of minte, palace type, and block type.
Well, it all looks very beautiful, but why has this been designated as a national intangible heritage?
That's a very good point. We saw the beauty through my article just right now, but to add a bit more onto that, not only does it hold history of demonstrating the history of Hangeul itself, but it also was an important instrument in various records, including any of the literary works, practical writing, and letters. It also contributes to the study of folk history and the Korean language history, suggesting it holds much cultural value.
I think actually calligraphy, especially Korean calligraphy, is quite beautiful in a sense as well, because it's, like we said, art, and it's really fascinating how they write it and how beautiful it comes out.
Why don't you make it your new hobby, Walter?
I may have to actually.
Let's first work on
More
our
effort than
handwriting.
Yeah, handwriting first, then calligraphy.
All right, thank you very much, Sung-jin, for that interesting report today.
My pleasure as always, guys.